The uniform made him too uncomfortable and he didn't want to come to school anymore. My son wants to be a feminist, but there's too much pressure. He's worried he's going to become a misogynist.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast.
You are here with Holly.
I'm Molly, and today we are going to be doing things we hate in education.
Like school, college, uni, things we have hated throughout our years.
Yeah, this is episode 10, guys.
Yes, it is. 10th episode of the Hatelist podcast this week. So exciting!
How fun. I said we go straight into it with my biggest pet peeve, which is massive gaps between lessons.
Yeah.
So in uni, this is obviously an issue because we're dancing. So if you're all warmed up, you've stretched, you've been dancing, obviously you need a bit of a water break and stuff. But then leaving it 3 hours between a lesson, then you just have to re-warm up afterwards and re-get into it, and you're all lazy and tired and you don't want to go back out.
Especially last thing on a Friday, when all your lessons, literally like last term, when did our last lesson finish? Like 1? Maybe it was even 12:30.
12, yeah, I think.
And then our lesson after that started at 3:30.
At 3, yeah. So it was a big gap, which just felt so pointless.
No, it was 3:45 because it was after 5 o'clock that we finished.
Yeah.
If we finished at 5:15 on a Friday, we'd have to wait all that time with nothing to do.
Yeah.
And it kind of dampens the vibe of the lesson. Like if that lesson was like straight after the one before that, then everyone would have good vibes, we'd all still be high energy, because everyone's had like 3 hours to just like die.
Yeah.
Then you know, the energy of the vibe of the lesson is always so off and down, because like everyone's just like,
and half the class can't go do anything because like you guys live too far away. Like Shannon and Charlotte live like completely too far away.
Yeah.
So we all just sort of either sit in the cafeteria. I was gonna say canteen and cafeteria. Cafeteria, or we go to mine. But then you are just sitting. It's not like you can be busy doing anything. We are just sort of sitting.
Yeah, we do just sit and do nothing.
We sit and do nothing.
And because there's also like no empty studios, it's not even like we can go and do things.
Yeah, there's never any place to practice.
I mean, we could go to the gym actually, on reflection. Actually, that's what me and Shan did before I hurt my back once.
The Laban
we
gym
tried to fill
me.
a gap by going to Pure Gym, and then I killed my back. So
how is your back?
Oh, it's so much better, thank you. I've got to have one more physio in April, but she says it's still stiff, but it's improved.
That's good. I'm so proud of you.
So exciting. Yeah. So that was gaps.
Can we stay on that topic, because I had the same issue in 6th form. So I live 45 minutes away, and I don't drive, so I was walking. And if I had like a 2-hour gap, it was completely pointless to walk home to have like half an hour in your house. I mean, it would fill up the space, but especially in like Christmas where it was like cold, I didn't want to walk 45 minutes home, hang out for half an hour, and then just walk 45 minutes back. So I'd just be sitting at school, and if people didn't have the same gap as me, I was just alone sitting at school.
Oh, that's so sad. That's really sad.
Yeah.
We never had that in college, because our college was like structured days. It was 9 till 3, and then we had 2 days where we finished at 1 instead, but then that was it. We just finished at 1 and then just didn't go in for the rest of the day, and then we had 1 day where we started at 10. So it was like structured days, and we just didn't have gaps. We just had 2 lessons, break time, a fat lesson, lunchtime, a little lesson again, and that was it. Just like every day without fail.
I think that would be so much easier. But yeah, we had like really sporadic lessons. Like all my days were like differently planned out, and so sometimes I'd have like a full day of lessons, and sometimes I've had like just a little gap. But then there was days where, like on Friday, we had just a massive gap.
Yeah.
And it would just depend whether people had a gap at the same time as me, or whether I had to just sit there and do homework, which isn't my thing.
So that kind of sucks.
Doesn't sound friendly. Yeah.
I guess the gap thing only kind of affected me in college. If I like finished college at 1 and then I had work at 5, and it takes like, it's like a half an hour drive for me to drive home, and then I'd have to drive just back to work, because obviously college and work were in Taunton and I live in Bridgewater, so I would have had to just go back to Bridgie and then back to Taunton for work again. And even though I'd have time at home, it was still kind of like, I'm just going to go back to where I left.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just pointless. Just everything needs to be set around my schedule, and you can't have your own schedules because I'm more important.
You know what? That's so fair. Oh, I just rolled away. Anything else? This was Molly's idea this week, guys. This was Molly's thing.
This is right. I think there are so many issues in education that, like, the testing systems, like homework, like the way they treat kids. There's so many things wrong with it. But I personally have had very good experience with school. Like, I really enjoyed school, especially sixth form. But I do also agree with all my education issues.
Well, I actually did my Year 10 public speaking assessment on the education system and how it's ruining children's lives and doesn't make any sense, and sets people up for failure. I hated school. I hated. Actually, I was going to say I enjoyed school before lockdown. That is going to be one of the biggest lies I've ever told in my life. I've always hated school. I actually hated school so much I made myself ill so that I didn't have to go to school during my fucking SATs when I was 11 years old. I hated school so bad I literally made myself physically ill for 2 weeks so that I didn't have to go in and do my SATs at 11 years old. What the fuck even are SATs? I haven't even thought about them since. Why was I so pressed? Like, why? Like, it's not that deep. Why was 11-year-old me like thinking the world was gonna end? Like, just chill, bro. But I've always been a massive school hater.
No, that's so valid. I think I know so many people who just can't with school. Like, it is just one of those things where it's not like, oh, you have to do it. It's like they've made it bad. They do it on purpose. It's like not a fun experience. I know some people have really good school experiences. Like she said, if you really enjoyed school. Yeah, I really enjoyed school.
That's great. I'm so glad. But
I couldn't do lockdown. Lockdown killed me. I just didn't do the work. Like, not in a lazy way. Like, I couldn't comprehend it without a teacher. Like, it actually killed me off. Like, I cry at homework and have done like my entire life. Like, I can't do work unless I'm in a lesson.
I think I was like that in lockdown. I think basically everything made me cry. But I enjoyed not being at school, but then I hated the fact that I was stuck in my house. So even lockdown was not an enjoyable experience.
You couldn't be with your friends. It wasn't like, oh, I can slack off school and hang out with people. You were on your own. You were completely isolated.
We used to just not go to lessons and play Roblox. Or we would always we would FaceTime on our phones even during the lessons. So like even in lesson we'd still be on FaceTime talking. And we would be in different lessons and still be on FaceTime because I was in a lower set than all my friends. Oh, so I was just learning different things to everyone else and also learning what they were learning because we were all on FaceTime. I
went to 2 Zoom calls over 2 years.
Was that it?
Yeah, one of them was form time. Why did you have form time on Zoom?
I genuinely don't think I missed that many. Like, as a whole, I think even if I went to them and didn't do any of them, I was a little neek though. I know in people used to not turn their cameras on. I was the only one that turned my camera on in Mr. Tracy's maths because he was like, everyone used to have their camera on. So and just watch genuinely only me. No, I always locked in for Mr. Tracy's maths because Mr. Tracy was my king.
Oh, yeah, fair.
No. Oh, okay, wait, hang on. No, because it was Mr. Tracy's maths when we had the lockdown in year 9 because I didn't have Mr. T in year 8 because basically I had Mr. Tracy my entire maths career at like obviously most of the time your teachers move around, but I had Mr. T the whole time. Apart from year 8 we had a religious teacher teaching us maths and she was a qualified maths teacher, but let me tell you, I don't think I learned anything from that woman. I genuinely could not tell you one thing I learned from that woman in maths or in religious studies, but I had Mr. T my entire career, actually apart from the end of year 9 when he moved me up a set. Go on mathematic queen, and then when we got into year 10 I was back with Mr. T again. He was this funny little skinny little Irish man that just used to hate on everything. He'd be so funny on this podcast, I think, because he's just got so many things he hates and it was so hilarious. He had a Nissan Micra and every single lesson he would complain about his Nissan Micra and someone would be like, oh sir, I saw you driving around your little Nissan Micra. He'd be like, that stupid car, I hate the Nissan Micra, I can't get rid of it because it means so much to me, but also if I tried to sell it would only be worth 100 quid. I might as well just throw it in a river. It's not worth anything at all. It's worth 100 quid. What am I supposed to do with a car that's worth 100 quid? I hate it, but I can't buy a new car because I can't sell it because it will only give me 100. Literally he would actually spiral about things. It was so funny. It was But you could always yap and learn. Like, you know when sometimes when teachers are like yapping and you're like, okay, I kind of haven't learned anything from you.
Yeah.
And like you would do that on purpose sometimes, get a teacher talking so you wouldn't learn. But Mr. T was really good at the balance.
The balance, yeah.
He was actually one of my favourite things about school. My little Irish maths teacher, Mr. Tracy. He was such a king.
I love teachers you can get along with as well. Like, be mates with your teachers. Maybe I'm just a sweat, but I was always friends with half my teachers.
I don't know if I was friends with any teachers. I don't think I cared enough to be friends with any teachers. We had in year 11 period 6, so they added an extra lesson at the end of the timetable for year 11s. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays we had a period 6 lesson, and they chose what it was going to be for us. So they chose your lowest scoring subjects and put you in that period 6.
That's really clever, actually.
It was, but it also meant that like you might be doing it with a different group of people because it wasn't like full classes. So what did I think I had English lit. I definitely had English lit. I had extra English language lessons during my German lessons. And then I had German period 6 because I was missing German lessons to do my extra English lessons.
They have done English during the German. Why would they swap for them?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, they also sometimes the extra English language lessons, it was normally between German, but I don't think it was set. It's supposed to be during Holly's German lesson. It just always fell over my German lesson because sometimes I miss maths. Sometimes I missed an English lesson to go and have an extra English lesson. Like which is pointless. Yeah, but then when it came close to our GCSEs, we got to pick which period 6 we went to. So I picked, I think I got put in maths and then I chose to stay there with this guy called Mr. Cheres. And Mr. Cheres was our top set maths teacher. But he was an absolute diva. He was so fucking funny. I'd never had him before year 11, but my friends in the top set always had Mr. Cheres. And my sister always had Mr. Cheres as well because she was... I don't think she was in top set maths, so I don't know how she ended up with him because he always taught top sets. Maybe my sister's smarter than I think. Sorry, Queen, don't mean to humble you. Mr. Cheres was an absolute king. He was so fucking funny. The maths teachers, they were just, it was just Mr. Cheres and Mr. Tracy. They were probably the best teachers school had to offer, let me tell you. They were so funny. I don't have any funny stories about Mr. Cheres at all. I just know that he was a diva. I actually have a picture of him at prom. Our head teacher, he definitely had a little bit of something straight, but he was also a really whack man. Oh my god, this man was... This is a school point. This is one that we can go on to about education. So, you know, a classic school uniform, you know, you've got your... Ours, I don't know about you, did you wear blazers?
Blazers, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got our little blazers, we've got our shirts, you can have a jumper, and girls had black skirt or trousers, and then boys had trousers or shorts. When did it start? It started when I went into year 11, and at the time, this is a crucial part of the story, I worked in a school uniform shop that supplied all the uniform for all the schools, including my school.
Sorry, that's adorable. You worked in a little school unit. That's so cute.
Yeah, no, it's my first job. I got that job when I was 15. So in about halfway through year 10, my head teacher is kind of like, okay, we're going to make some changes to the uniform in the school because I think it looks messy. I don't like the way it looks, yada, yada, yada. And we were like, okay, rebrand, let's go. We then have a proper assembly about it. All he's doing is changing the girls' skirts. We had knee-length wrap-around tartan kilts. Our uniform was black and red. These kilts were grey and white and 3 different shades of red. They were disgusting. He didn't even change the tie to match. So the tie was cross red and black stripy, and then prefect ties were red, black and gold, and then JLT ties were silver and red.
What, silver and red?
JLT ties. JLT was junior leadership team, and it was basically a prefect but in year 10. Okay. So obviously none of those ties are going to go with a wraparound knee-length tartan kilt. It was actually ridiculous, and that was the only change that he made to the uniform. He was like, girls are going to have to wear this now, and because the uniform made him too uncomfortable and he didn't want to come to school anymore because the girls' skirts were too short. And he just felt too uncomfortable and didn't know what he was supposed to do.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
What? How fucking fucking disgusting is that?
Yeah.
That is awful. That is absolutely awful. And they had 3 buttons down the side, and they used to uniform check us. If they couldn't see they had 4 buttons. If you couldn't see 4 buttons, then we got a tick on our uniform card, and if you got 3 ticks on your uniform card, you had to go to internal exclusion. So he brought out these skirts, and because I was JLT in year 10 and prefect in year 11, because I was low-key in need, he brought out these uniforms, and he was like, no, and he sort of also did a JLT and prefect thing meeting with us about it as well, and I was well-being JLT. So he was like, oh, and how do we think this is going to affect the well-being of the school? And I was like, I'm going to be honest, that's not a thing you say to students, like that's not really on, is it?
Yeah.
And I was like, why have you not brought in the matching trousers to the boys so that everyone matches and you can try and make the uniform look nice? He was like, oh, but it's like, it's not about the uniform matching, it's just about people looking tidy, and the boys look smart enough as they are. And you know how boys go to school with like their trousers like up here and then like bright white socks? I was like, the boys do not look smart. Like there's ways to make it look smarter. And he was like, oh, well, they only make the kilts, so it's only for the girls. And I was like, well, actually, let me tell you, because I work for the shop that is supplying your uniform. I helped with the order that ordered these skirts, and I can tell you that you can also get great matching tartan trousers, matching tartan pinafores, matching tartan ties. You can even get a scrunchie, and you can even get one of those silly fucking hat things. There are so many, like, none of those things you would buy, but I can tell you for a fact that you can definitely get trousers to make the boys match, and then we might look a little bit tidier. And he was like, well, we just haven't got the money to buy the boys trousers as well.
That's so funny that he just lied to you and you're like, actually no.
Actually no.
I know what's going on.
Yeah, he was just like, we just haven't got the money to buy the boys the trousers right now. We're only doing it for the girls because they just bought a new building for my school. But let me tell you, he got his karma, because when we started year 11, one of the, bless my poor English teacher, my absolute queen, she opened the windows. You could open, you know, the ones you can open twice, where you open to the side, or you can flip it and it comes down. She was putting it down, the bitch just disconnected from the window frame, and she was just like trying to hold this window up because it fell in on her, so she was trying to like not let it shatter or crush her. So we were delayed going back to school in year 11 because they had to get health inspection checks for the school to make sure the building was safe. They then had to let half the amount of students in the building because the building couldn't support the amount of people that it was trying to. It was literally crumbling and falling apart. And Mr. Reed was there spending money on kilts that we didn't need, when the building was literally crumbling around him. And can I just to top it off, just to kick him in the bollocks, the building was declared unsafe and they're not allowed to use it. So when I left in year 11, when my sister went back in year 10, the building it's all wrapped up. So they're all still on site. So like Fletch goes to school on site, but they have portable buildings on the school field because they can't use the big main building because it's all wrapped up and covered in scaffolding in case it falls in, so that it doesn't crush any students. And he's now got to buy a whole new site and build a whole new school because they can't rebuild on the site because they'd already put the new building on the site. They'd already demolished the old building and put the new building on the same site, and now they've got the portable buildings in. They've got no room to build another school on this site. So now he's got to buy a whole new site and a whole new school, but he's wasted his money on tartan kilts. Tartan kilts! I got laughed at in the streets by 8-year-olds when I was walking to school past primary schools. They would laugh at us. Students were a mockery. But they brought it into one of the other schools in Bridgewater, because when did it, all the other schools started doing it, so we also had to start looking at kilts for the other schools. And one of the schools, they were actually going to do it really nice. Their uniform was grey and navy, and then their ties depended on the colour of what house you were in. So they were going to bring in the kilts, but like house colour kilts as well. And I was like, that actually could have been really nice. And the ones, they weren't the disgusting ones. They were just a monstrosity. They just didn't match the uniform and they were a monstrosity, but I humbled him, so it's okay. That man needs humbling. He was also an Irish man, but not a silly fun little Irish man with a fun little accent. He was just fucking annoying. I hated him with everything in me. Oh my god, he once said... Wait, sorry. We did an open day at one of the colleges and they had pronoun badges. So my head of year came to me and my friend Matilda, and she was like, oh, can you guys speak to Mr. Reed about pronoun badges for Haygrove, because I think that would, even if we just have a bowl of pronoun badges in the office, like that makes us more progressive, that can make people feel more welcoming. Like I think it's a really nice thing to make the school a little bit more inclusive. I was like, oh perfect, yeah, we'll go and speak to Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed said no because he thinks it would provoke bullying. He was like, we were like, it's about self-expression, and I was like, I'm not being funny, like everyone in my mum's office has their pronouns in their signature.
Yeah.
Like teachers in the school put their pronouns in their signature. Like it's a like thing that is happening. It's not going to provoke bullying. And he was like, yeah, but some people are just going to bully, aren't they? And I just don't want to be the person that's putting people in the situation where they can get bullied.
It's a choice to pick up the badge.
Yeah, like, we're not making everyone put a badge. You're just giving them the option to put one on if they want. If they want to put the badge on and then they get bullied, then you tell the bullies that they can't laugh at people because of, like, just be progressive, what do you mean? And then he proceeded to go on about feminism and tell me and Matilda that his son wanted to be a feminist so bad, he was so worried he was going to become a misogynist because of the pressures of female society. What are you talking about? How are you in charge of a school? Like, actually, what are you doing? This man was not real. I'm so glad I've never had to lay eyes on him again, because actually, what the hell? What is going through his head?
That is so jokes. I can't even lie. That is the funniest.
Oh, my son wants to be a feminist, but there's too much pressure. He's worried he's going to become a misogynist. The fuck are you saying? Like, what is going through your brain? I would love... I actually don't think I would. Never mind. I was going to say I'd love to be in Mr. Reed's head for a day, but I actually don't think
a bit scary.
I would. I really don't think I want to know what goes on in that man's head. That was my fun little anecdote.
10-minute long story.
10-minute long story. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It was entertaining. I enjoyed. Anyway, I was going to cut in about 9 minutes ago. And say, my primary school always had little black or grey skirts, and then when our new head teacher came in our last year, we got kilts.
You got kilts?
Yeah, I mean, I wore trousers, so it didn't affect me at all. I mean, I think I did actually buy a kilt, but we had little green kilts. They were adorable. But Rosie had gone to secondary school at that point, so all of my friends usually had, like, younger siblings. So they all turned up with knee-length skirts, and me and Rosie, we went off on our day with, like, rolled-up 7-time skirt. And little 10-year-old me was, like, prancing into school with, like, a teeny little skirt, because I just copied what, Rosie, because she was in year 8 at the time, so that was, like, the norm.
Yeah.
So I just had a teeny little skirt when I had it. Mum, if you're watching, no, I didn't.
So funny.
But I think I wore trousers more.
No, I think, well, I kind of split my skirt and my trousers evenly, and then when we got the kilts, I actively tried to wear trousers more. I think I only wore the kilt on days I had PE to make it less awkward when I was getting changed. Because then, like,
you
take my tights off, just put my leggings off under the kilt, and then take the kilt off. Yeah, the kilt actually grew on me in the end. I kind of low-key liked it, but it just pissed me off. No,
that's so
like
cute.
it kind of. We weren't supposed to wear knee-high socks, but I was like, if you're gonna make me wear a kilt, I'm gonna commit to the bit, and I wore knee-high socks just to piss off Mr. Reed. And I don't know if that helped, but it honestly kind of. I think it added to the vibe. I think it made it look.
Yeah, it's giving.
I wouldn't do it now.
Britney Spears in that schoolgirl video.
Yeah, low-key, I would not do it now. It was definitely a monstrosity. I don't know what the fuck 16-year-old me thought she was doing, and I would definitely not do it again. And it was actually 16 years wasn't that long ago in comparison. Actually, that's quite scary. But thankfully, there's no pictures of this.
I was about to ask for a photo.
There is no evidence. I can find you a picture of the kilt. Okay, I can tell them about shirt sleeve order if you'd like.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Okay, so we're looking at pictures of me and my school days. I'm not going to show you them because they're diabolical actually, so we can scrap showing the school pictures. But in the pictures we're looking at, I was just saying to Molly, you can't see they don't match the ties because we had a thing when it was too hot called shirt sleeve order. So if it got too hot, we were allowed to not wear our blazers to school at all and leave our ties at home and unbutton our top shirts. And so they would put shirt sleeve order in place. And then if it got too hot again, we could wear our PE kits to school. But that genuinely only happened like twice. What was it?
I'm in shock.
It happened at least once a year, like twice a year. Yeah, but shirt sleeve order, too hot, leave your blazers at home and you can take your ties off and have your thing unbuttoned.
No, we had to bring our blazers. We had to ask permission to take them off in lessons.
Oh no, yeah, we
even
had
in the middle of summer. We had to bring our blazers every day. We had to have our shirt fully buttoned up and our tie on. And if your tie was too short, did you have that? They would be really.
We had clip-on ties, so they couldn't do anything about tie length.
Both. So some people just, if you break the clip and tie the clip-on tie, it becomes a little short fat tie. On a clip-on tie. So people purposely turned their clip-on ties into ties so they could have little short ties. So it's cool.
I
didn't.
Everyone just had clip-on ties. But yeah, we had to, on a normal day, we had to ask to take our blazers off in lessons. Like if we were walking around without our blazers on, we would get in trouble. But yeah, if it got too hot, which it was very hot on the last day, we could take our tie off, unbutton our top shirt.
If I had turned up without a tie, I'd be told off. That is crazy.
Well, most of the time, I don't think I brought my blazer to school in shirt sleeve order, but I always had my tie in my pocket. But yeah, like some people did carry their blazers around, but it's like, I'm not carrying my blazer around. You think I'm wasting my time carrying my blazer around? No, absolutely the fuck not. But yeah, that's a fun another little Haygrove anecdote. What a whack little story. Do you have anything else? Because I've talked for a long time.
Should we find another one on the list? When a teacher reads a PowerPoint as if they've never read this. I was talking to someone about this yesterday because I was doing my PowerPoint and I was like, I'm gonna make like notes to read from. Because when teachers just like have paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs on the board and they read it so like monotone, like they're just like, and then they were blah, 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 blah. It's like, we could read that ourselves or just send it to us. Why am I in a lesson where you're reading off the board? You haven't added anything of your own. It feels like you've never read it before. Like...
And then you feel like you can't like learn anything. No, because they're just talking in like one tone.
Nothing goes in when it's like that. You have to have some like call and response and you need like a bit of a group activity. I'm a bad learner. I don't listen when people speak at me. So
you need to find a way to make it engaging. I can't listen.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be engaging and not just
yeah. And even if they like read a bit and go like, oh yeah, and then explain it, then it even proves that they've read it before. But like obviously they taught this so many years in a row, but it feels like they've no idea what they're reading. Like they're just reading it as words rather than as sentences, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, that make a lot of sense. I agree. I hate that.
Yeah. It says patronising rhetorical statements. This is like a specific thing that I brought up, which is like when teachers in school that you have to be at say like, if you don't want to be here, just leave. It's like, but I can't just, like, that's not acceptable. Like, I would get told off. So it's not like in uni, if you don't want to be there, you can leave and there's nothing they can do about it. It would be mean. It wouldn't be fun for you or them, but there's actually nothing happening except for you ruining your own career in school. If they're like, you can just leave. It's like, no, I can't. You fucking liar. I hate Mr. East. It's my GCSE history teacher. He was an awful, awful man. He once told me that I was going to fail history because I was an awful historian and that I was going to fail my GCSE and that it was pointless me turning up to lessons.
That's crazy. That's crazy work.
And I didn't fail. I got a 5, and a 5 isn't high, but it's not low. I could have got lower. It's not like I scraped a pass. I got a fucking 5, and I didn't revise. So it wasn't like I was struggling that much. Yeah.
That is crazy. That is a crazy statement from a crazy man.
It is, and he kicked me out of the lesson all the time just to sit in year 9 history with Mr. Copeland. Hashtag I love Mr. Copeland. And I learnt more in year 9 history than my actual GCSE class.
I feel like the hatred is not rhetorical statements and just Mr. East.
It might just be Mr. East.
I feel like
but I don't get the statement, if you don't want to be here, you can leave.
No, that doesn't really make any sense, to be honest. Like, you can't. You can't. So silly.
Oh, so silly. So silly. Sorry, you do your point. I'm just angry.
No, mine was favouritism.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up this one because you can notice it in school, but I kind of forgot a lot of school. Well, apparently not. I've had a lot of school stories, but these ones, like, I don't remember favouritism being a thing that bothered me in school. But in college, it's because I went to a performing arts college, so obviously it was very competitive anyway.
Yeah.
It was very bitchy, just a classic performing arts environment. Our course director definitely had favourites. There were just some people that could do whatever they want, and just not get into trouble. Oh my god, we were in one coursework lesson once, and me and my friends were talking, and Dave, our course director, was talking with our college was kind of split into two groups. There was kind of, like, everyone was kind of friends, but there were also two groups, and not everyone was friends, and definitely not everyone was friends, actually. That was such a big fat lie. But we were kind of split, like, divided into, we had subgroups in between that, but we were kind of split in two. So we were all just talking, and Dave was talking to the other group, and they were laughing, and they were definitely not talking about anything coursework related. I actually think me and my friends were talking about something coursework related, like we were trying to help each other. And Dave shouted at us from across the room, "Can you guys shut up and do your work, please? We're trying to work over here." No, you are literally not working. You are just talking with these people. Like, you are not doing any work. You're not being helpful at all. And then you shout at us to try and get on with our work. We're trying to get help because you're not helping, because you're sat there gossiping with them instead of helping us and doing your job like you're supposed to be doing. You're not there to talk. You can turn around and say to us, "You're not here to talk, you're here to learn." You're not here to talk, you're here to teach. So, like, actually just sort yourself out. Like, why are you picking, like, yeah, like, they could just do anything they wanted, and there were some people, they just got every role. They just got every role they wanted. They always got the main character and had the main part and everything. And it was just, no, you just don't need to be like that. And they could just rock up late to lessons and it would be fine. And if I rocked up with a coffee and I was 2 minutes late, then I was the worst person ever. But if other people rocked up with coffees and they were late, then it didn't really matter at all, because as long as they're here now to join us, and just like that kind of, yeah. And then, like, even in our dance lessons, sometimes there were just some people that just, you're always at the front, got the most featured dancers, just da-da-da-da. And they were, actually, the dancers I don't mind as much, they were incredible dancers. I think all the dancers that got main parts of my dance show, they were insane, actually, so I'm not going to hate on them. Because they deserved because they deserved to be at the front, they deserved all the featured dancers, and they deserved what they got, that was fine. But yeah, there was just a lot of favouritism.
Yeah.
Because I know that there were other people caught vaping on college campuses, but I was the one that had to spend my last day of college in IE because I was vaping getting out of my car.
It's not funny. Why were you Owen had that, actually. Owen took a drag of his vape just before getting in the gates and then blew it out in the gates, and they went, "Nope, even though you were outside the gate when you took it, you can't." It wasn't even his vape. He didn't even vape at the time. It was someone else's vape. Oh, it's so jokes. Oh, well.
It's just not real. It was just a not real
Especially
experience.
because at college, I'm assuming you were of age to be able to vape. And
oh my god, yeah, this is literally my last day of college. This was literally like 7 months ago. I was 18. I was closer to 19 than I was 18, I think, genuinely. Yeah. Like, I was not doing anything wrong. Yeah.
Well,
I think that brings us to the end of episode 10 of the Hatelist podcast.
That's so exciting, actually. Can't wait to get to 100. It's actually been a full episode. I've just listened to you. Your school stories are so funny. You always just pull out this random thing. I'm like, I've never heard this before. What's going on? It's bro.
But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I really did.
I love having random law drop on you.
So fun.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram and Threads at The Hatelist Podcast, and subscribe and like to our YouTube at The Hatelist Pod. We will see you next week. Back after Christmas, it feels so good.
I know. Woo!